Mirror, mirror. Hey, these are like black mirrors. Phones. You know what a black mirror is? Check it out, man. Do some scrying in a black mirror. That's what this is. It's like, it's like a high-tech Ouija board or some shit. You know? It's a really nice day today. Let's just document this day today. You know when you wake up and your leg is kinked, you slept on it wrong and so you're walking all fucked? And then my arm is already fucked. So my body's a little banged up. And you realize you're getting real old. Not real old, but kind of old. And also, I think if this wind doesn't fucking destroy this is like a windy ass city. When I first moved here, I was like, fuck. Because I do a lot of videoing. And then when I listen to it later, I'm like, wow, I took all that fucking effort and time to do diddly squat. Now I gotta delete it, and I don't know if I didn't say anything anyway. But good morning, myself. Good morning, self. Good morning, selves. Man, I think I gotta change my schedule for doing this kind of shit. Let's just go over here. I was already getting my steps in and just get a few steps in. And with my phone, by the way, it looks like I'm talking to somebody. So when I have a camera, like my other camera, that's like an actual camcorder. Do they call it that? Camcorder. This is kind of like a nice view of like the other side of things. I did a video here the other day, or not the other day, but like a week ago. And I just went on and on about some stupid shit. And it was dumb. And you know when you listen to yourself and you're like, what the fuck? Why are you even talking? You listen to yourself. I don't mind myself sometimes. Holy shit, that was a huge dragonfly. It was like hissed or something. I think it was its wings, and I scared it. I might have scared it. A huge motherfucker. I don't know if I caught that on cam. Oh, there it is. They're big, but you can't really see them. Oh, there it is. Hey, come here. Whoa, that's close enough. They're fast motherfuckers, and they bite. This would be like a good place to fucking do some biking. I gotta bring my bike here. So, I just woke up from a dream. And it's good to have those dreams fresh in your mind. And it was a dream, and I think it's okay just to say her name. Maybe she's watching. I don't know. Hey, Aldoria. How's it going? Hey, what's up? Another dream, and this time it was like there was the demon was a white tiger, and I love tigers. I love cats. They're like my family. And I think that the spirit was testing me to see, first of all, if you're strong enough. I mean, who can fight a tiger? A fucking huge ass white tiger. Their claws are like as big as like my finger. And so that's scary enough. And I think she was just observing me. I'd still like to call her my witch. She's my witch. Anyway, so I knew that the tiger was going to attack me, right? I knew it was like prowling around and it was going to attack. And I think she wanted to observe me handling myself to see if when you got like snap judgment and like you act, it's like you act. You don't just like, you don't just think about it, you just do it, I think the spirit really wants me to think, wants me not to think, wants to see how I do it. So I was like the prey and I was being stalked a little bit by this tiger, this beautiful, beautiful tiger. Like white, it was like white with like the black stripes on it. Awesome. Awesome motherfucker. And when you have affection for these things, you kind of like, maybe you would hesitate, but I didn't hesitate. There was no hesitation. I knew I was the prey, and it was ready to attack me. I could see it circling me. So I went up to this hill or this cliff or this mountain, and I knew as soon as it went to jump on me, I grabbed it. I don't know how strong do you got to be to do that? Just to grab it and just throw it off the side of the fucking cliff. As soon as I threw it, I saw it was like, had his arms out and it was trying to like, I just killed it. But it's do or die, man. It's do or die. Isn't that life though? I gotta get a drink of water here. So yeah, basically I just woke up. Did not bring my selfie stick. I'm not used to using my selfie stick. Oh yeah. Fresh, filtered Brita water is the way that I go. And so, maybe this is relevant for a video. I think it is. Like your strengths. What are your strengths? You don't really know, like, especially like, cause like I woke up and my leg, I slept on it wrong and it was like fucking hurts. And so it's like, you realize you're getting old and you're like, fuck me and fuck my life, it's like, but then those negative thoughts and then like, even in the dream, there was like some spiritual parasites I was like squeezing out of my leg and stuff. And I've done this kind of shit before. Like I've gone places and like just like opened the skin. It was like a snake. I opened the skin on my leg and just like all this crud came out. And somebody comes in and says, "Hey, you can't do that in here." I'm like, why? Fuck off. But it was like that. I was like pulling. It was like these like leeches, and I was like pulling them out of me. Fuck off, bee. There's a bee or something. Get away from me, you fucker. And so it was like pulling all these. But that's like everywhere you go. There's like you got to be careful. Like when you're in the woods, there's like ticks. There's like you're gonna get mosquitoes. You're gonna get stung by a motherfucking bee. A fucking dragonfly is gonna come by and be like, bite you. He'd be like, yeah, fucking bite you. I'm gonna fucking bite you. It's like, even with like fucking bugs and shit, like where's their fear? Where's their fear of death and of dying and of getting squished? I would never squish a dragonfly. I would rather just get bit and have it just fuck off. Because it's like with that I was gonna say dragon. I love dragons. Don't you? Don't you love dragon movies? Anyways, it's like when you appreciate something but in nature, it's like we are the prey to the predators that are out there. And just like, even just like with anybody, it's like there's predators, people who stalk you, people who are just weird and shit, people who do that kind of stuff. And, you know, sometimes you don't know who the predator is. Sometimes you don't know if you are prey or predator. I know, but the thing is, I think, like, for average people, I think, because I think the average don't know who they are. So they have to test the boundaries and they have to test the waters because they don't have the experience. And that's just what it is. You need to be somewhat experienced to understand who you are in this world. You know, and if you don't know who you are in this world, you're going to run into some problems, and that's just how you live and learn, maybe, sort of. Some people's brains are like, can understand it and are quick learners. Some people are really slow learners. And I don't have a lot of patience for slow learners if they're incredibly slow, and it comes to a point where it's just that they're draining, and they're spiritually draining you, you know? So fuck that type. Fuck them good, because they're trying. They're trying. It's not always, you can't be sorry, I'm so sorry. Well, you put your sorries up your fucking ass because you're a fucking pompous, stupid ass. Okay? 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 Alright? Alright. Do you get it? Yeah, of course you get it, because you're doing it on purpose. You know, these are always like the helpful reminders, right? Hey, this is a cool cobweb. I really, really like nature. It was focused for a second. Come on, man. Focus. That's cool. This phone is better for, like, if you want HD. Oh, I just got a text from my daughter. I want to see it sparkle in the... Can we get it to sparkle? Sparkle? But you have to know your place. And you can always move up on the ladder, move up on the food chain. Can always do that. But you have to learn it. Like, your brain has to absorb it. Like if your brain was like a SpongeBob brain. And that's not a good example. But again, it's like if your brain is a sponge, like babies' brains are... Somebody said that to me. I heard that somewhere a long ass time ago. Babies' brains are like sponges. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So I say that sometimes, you know. Your brain is like a sponge. And it's true, because it's you gotta soak it up. Not everybody's brain is so spongeable to soak it all up, to soak it in, and for it to stay there. That's how you have the knowledge. You don't just have knowledge. You don't just fucking talk shit. Like, people might come across this channel and be like, this guy, I don't know, I don't understand, because my brain doesn't absorb it. And so I need a sponge brain. I need a sponge brain, okay? And they just don't. They're not equipped. So it depends on the type of person you are, what you care about in life, what you desire. Because what we care about is monumental to how we live our lives. It's just like, I don't care. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I don't care about this, that, and the third. But we all care about something, and then that something really kind of like takes over. I mean, everything's an addiction, right? We have an addiction to everything. First of all, I have an addiction to to air, to H2O, clean, breathable air. I'm addicted to it. We're all addicted to that. That's like a basic. Then, of course, healthy drinking water. I mean, these are like the basic needs, but everything's an addiction. Even looking through this phone, I'm like, this is really pretty. Like the wind and the trees, and it's so blue, it's such a blue sky, and it's very kind of euphoric. Everything is euphoric. Like you don't even. It's having trouble focusing for some reason. I think it is. Looked like anyway. And everything is like a trip, you know. Everything is like there's DMT on our minds when we die, and we're like, you know, if you've ever been on a psilocybin trip on mushrooms, and it's like like really you get some good shit, and you like when you're on that, you're not even here anymore. Like you're dead. Literally, you're dead. And when we dream, and when at night, when we go to sleep, we die. And that's like a hard one to accept. But I've been thinking about that more and more lately, because, I mean, we could die in our sleep, something can happen, we could just say, fuck it, and just take off, eh? Take off out of our bodies, and, but even though, you know, you wake up, you might be in pain, or, you know, right now my leg hurts, I could go on, I'm fucking tired, I'm fucking didn't get enough sleep, but you still gotta get up, and like once you get it going, it's okay. It could be okay. It's not just the worst ever. Feels like it. You're like, oh, I'm fucking dead. I'm fucking dead. And I spell that like D-E, capital E-D. Dead. Most people are dead, like brain dead. You know, sometimes we're all just brain dead. We're all just brain deads. And with it, and when I'm on the phone, I don't even have to like, it says 17 minutes, whatever, and I don't gotta think like, oh my god, it's like 4 minutes, because my camera's old and I need like one of those. It comes with those little chips. I don't even know you can buy those little chips anymore. My camera is so obsolete. So I'm glad it still works. But I don't think I can make these videos premieres, which I don't think matters. Anyway, we could just listen to the trees and the breeze. And I always like to rhyme things, because I'm very poetic. I've always been into like words, and like, you know, just like even like, cause music is like, so I just had a thought right now. So when let's get out of the wind a little bit here. So when an extraterrestrial or a spiritual being tries to speak to you, and I've had these encounters before. So let's just talk about that for a second. They don't use words necessarily. They're not using words because it is. Excuse me. See, because words just get in the way. Sometimes you're thinking of something and you're just like, I don't know. Like, how am I going to explain this shit? Because a lot of the times, it's the way that you feel. It's your emotions, right? And so it's like this world has got us all so fucked in our minds, like society. Thinking that, like, you know, as males, you don't use your emotions. But that is so incredibly moronic, because you know, when you're making love to somebody that you love, A lot of the times you're just like making sounds like oh or it's oh baby or I'm gonna come or some stupid shit like that. But then mostly it's like it's your emotions, and that's how you get attached to people. And then there's that bond that you create with people, and it's not, you know, you create a bond with somebody. It's an emotional state. We're in an emotional vibration. It's not like using words is like, how can I describe the ways that I fucking love you? You know? And so slowly but surely, and you better not call me Shirley, because my name's Nancy. I'm a Nancy boy. Not. I'm a fucking Cro-Magnon man. Anyways. I'm Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense. And forget that. Anyway, so I've had these encounters with extraterrestrials. I've talked to them. I've spoken to them. I've seen them. They're in disguise. They wear a suit like the Predator did in the Predator movies. You know that suit, that invisible cloak that they have. I don't think it's a suit. It's like a cloak, a cloaking device. And that is literally what ETs, higher dimensional beings, use. It is. And I've seen this shit. And I know their technology. And, you know, when you're going through stuff like that, you know, of course, it's like, I'm mental. I'm just a mental fucking crazy ass. And it's so crazy. It's so weird. When we all evolve, it's about the evolution. When we can all evolve and know this, and know the knowledge of all of this, we will all see it. We will all see it. I like watching the streams. It's like a jet stream. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat, eh? Okay, there we go. But, yes. Extraterrestrial, spiritual technology is real, man. And I think a lot of people just choose either to deny it because their brain cannot accept it. People are not smart. They just want to be in families and just have that basic understanding in society. And that's where we're headed. This world is not going to be the same way forever. And I think most people want it to stay that way forever because of their Cro-Magnon brain, their Neanderthal brains. And that's sad for them because that's kind of pathetic in a way. It's very like, who's the prey and who's the predator then? Because if you can't see who's coming for you, you're in a lot of trouble. And we can see our enemies, you know, and we don't even know that they're our enemies because they're cloaked in a spiritual force. Because we all have a spiritual force that we can cloak ourselves in. And if you can stay cloaked and be undetected and go stealth mode on your enemies, well then, you may be slightly evolved already. But I've been thinking a lot about Ozzy. You know, alright, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. And I've been learning a lot about him. And how he was a mutant, according to science, probably because his toxicology reports pertaining to his substance abuses. He was really a mutant. in that respect. And I was never huge into cocaine, and like I did that shit back in the day, and that ain't cool. That really kind of like that'll fuck you over when you're older, and it's just not good. It's toxic. And so I'm learning he was a mutant. I'm like, I didn't really know the guy, and I've been really feeling his presence, and he's like, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. People are like saying online, like, "Oh, was he a Christian? Did he repent?" Fuck, dude. This is just another thing that we have to like move on from. You know, that's like an ego. That's an ego trip. We have to repent to who? You have to repent to yourself. Because if you don't own what you've done in this world, then we're gonna need the savior again. You know, and I'm just done with all that. And I think Ozzy was like tortured, you know? He had Parkinson's, and I've been having a moment learning about him, and I'm into the Osbournes now. When it first came out, I can remember like back 20 years ago or whatever, I was like, I don't care about this. And so I'm just like learning about. I've always loved Black Sabbath, or I've only heard Black Sabbath with Ozzy. I don't think I've heard Black Sabbath after they kicked him out. But I've always liked Ozzy Osbourne. Dreamer is was one of my favorites when I was like younger. But now being older, like I have like more access to the internet, and like when I was a kid, when I was a teen, I didn't have the internet. Okay. My parents didn't have the internet. My parents were religious. So when I was living with them, they didn't have the internet. And so I was like the kind of like, people like tell me about shit. I'm like, and then they ask me, do you have a computer now? Well, then I was like the kid that was like left out of shit. Because my parents were religious. My family was religious. So I didn't fucking know. And I would just, you know, when you're younger, you learn from other people as best you can. Like society in their basic ways. But having the internet has really given me a lot of advances in my life and made things easier. And I'm not going to get into too much about Ozzy right now. I just really respect the man. And he has a really cool soul. The guy's soul is like, I think everybody can feel that. When I'm talking about him, Ozzy Osbourne was a very creative, interesting human being. You know, I don't think he was so smart, but the way that he did music, like I was saying, how it's like music is more of a feeling. Like now that he has passed, you can feel that feeling really, even for me, even more so. And I can connect with the dead pretty good, maybe even better after they're gone, somewhat, with some spirits and people. There'd be spirits, they're not people anymore. But these are just words, right? And like I said, like words that get in the way, and if we could just use emotions and feelings, we can understand things a whole hell of a lot better than me trying to say something. But even though it's like if I just said nothing right now, that would still be nice, you know? The trees, and the breeze. Hey, there's a dog. Oh, there's another dog. This is like a dog park. That dog is like by himself. Oh, there he goes. He's not by himself, ladies and gentlemen. I was worried about him. I was like, oh, does he have a friend? Of course he does. He's with his other dog and his master. So it's like I got a bunch of notes here, and I was like, I like writing shit down, and it's already been 30 minutes. of me just blabbing on and on. Who knows if the wind destroyed this video or not? I don't know. But what I do know is that I have to really start digging deeper within myself. Just deeper and deeper and deeper, and to know that when I dream, I have that strength. I have that inner strength, and I know who I am. You know, that's what I was talking about, right? I know who I am, and I think mostly others think that they have more than I do because maybe they would have more help from others, from people, and I do a lot of things like on my own, for myself. It's called self-care because if nobody else is going to give a crap about you, just yourself, and if you're lucky enough, then you'll have other people to care. But for me in my life right now, it's just kind of like myself, and so I feel really isolated that way. I feel isolated. There's like an isolation that I'm going through, and I'm kind of getting sick of it. But it's just kind of like it's embedded in my mind, like. So I'm trying to slowly get out of that, and being on social media is a good way to do that. I hope this wasn't a waste of a trip here because of the wind, because of the goddamn wind. God damn it. Okay. Okay. Well, just fucking get over it. And so, like, a lot of people don't recognize that they think that they're the predator on you because they gossip. They fucking try to like psych you out and do shit to you to leech off you spiritually and be a burden in your life. And once they can maybe be a burden in your life, then they can like suck out your energy. And it's like, so you need to come to a place like this and just kind of like say what you need to say. Like that John Mayer song, Say What You Need to Say. I love that song. It's a good song. Go check it out. I love that song. After this video, listen to John Mayer. Say what you need to say. Feel what you need to feel. Somebody once told me that. I was going through withdrawals, and I was in this clinic, and I was like kind of freaking out, and they could tell. And he was, just some stranger guy from across the room. He's like, feel what you need to feel. And I was kind of like fucking in a bad mood. Yeah, whatever. Feel what I need to feel. Yeah, whatever. I got on the elevator. I was like fucking got out of the building. I was like, huh, that makes sense actually. Say what you need to say, feel what you need to feel. And the people who think that they're predators on you really probably don't know that they're the prey. And that's sad for them because they'll probably never figure it out. And they need to get their ass kicked to figure that out in more ways than one. Because society will kick your ass in dozens of ways. Cheat, steal, kill, will, fucking yeah, boy. Okay, whatever. But you gotta find that strength within yourself. You need to meditate before you go to sleep. Have some type of meditation that you can like hone in on. You gotta hone in on that shit. Find your inner strength within yourself. You know, I feel so weak, just like anybody else, within myself. But those are just like those past moments. And you kind of need to you just need to work through it. And you need to know who you are when you do it. You need to work through it, and you need to know who you are when you do it. So I think this has been a motivational seminar. When I said seminar, I heard two voices, and that was weird. Maybe I had a lisp or something when I said it. I don't know. Sometimes I do weird things in my mind, and my mind is a weird thing, and your mind is a weird thing, and all of our minds are weird things, and mostly the mind is an illusion. So I'm hallucinating. Yes, well, I hope everybody's doing good. Okay. Okay. Everybody doing good, okay? And about an hour ago, before I came here, I was not doing too good. I think my leg feels a little bit better. You just gotta get out, you gotta stretch. You gotta do some stretches. I'm gonna go back home, do a couple more stretches and squats, and clean up a little bit, tidy up, and give my kitty some kisses and some love. And love is the key to the universe. It is. It's the key to your heart and soul. It's key to your mind. It's key to everything, because it opens it up. When you feel hate within myself, when you feel hate within myself, what? Okay. When you feel hate within yourself, you really are lacking the proper tools and equipment, which is the love within yourself. And it's just like love. What's love? We got to be shown what love is every day. A helpful reminder to show you what love is every day. And it's the fresh air. It's the trees and the breeze and the fresh air. Yeah, and the bees on my knees trying to sting me every day. And that's just life. Oh man. But I'm having a good time. Sometimes. I think when I get into like a good rhythm, you got a good rhythm? Yeah. And that can mean that, oh, when you feel dead, then you're dead and you got no love inside your head. Okay, now the rhyming is kind of annoying to me also. But I'll still do it, because if it's annoying, then I like to be annoying sometimes. It's the breeze. It's the breeze in the trees. And there are no more bees nipping at my knees. Well, I'm going to take my water here, and we're going to go back over the bridge. It's like the yellow brick road, It's like the gray concrete road. This doesn't even have to be an outro. This will be what it is. It will be what it is, man. Alright, well. Take care, everybody. Bye.